You're watching The Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. All right, so quick announcement.
Quick announcement. Tonight we're going to be talking about Season 6 of Cobra Kai. If you guys are looking for cheap comics, slide along. I've been waiting like a year for Cobra Kai.
All right, so quick announcement. Unfortunately, Ken Hazer is not going to be here tonight.
So Robbie's going to draw live for us.
So we're gonna pick another date that he can come in. He had deadline today. He couldn't make it. It was a last minute thing. I'd run into him on Thursday of last week, and he was going to be here. We thought he was going to be here, but in the end, he couldn't make it here, and ended up having deadline
it's
stuff.
The backbreaking workload and crippling deadlines.
That got nothing to do with me.
I could be making that up, man. I don't know.
No, it is. He's got deadlines. So Powerpuff Girls. I don't know what. So hopefully there's something interesting.
If you guys have watched this show, you understand that my knowledge of how the comics get made is about that big. What's in the comics?
So I got pretty good though. So I know I put that was in the emailer, so I apologize. Marcus Nick is scrambling around doing a bunch of things before he has to go to Comic-Con.
You know what Nick is
San
doing?
Diego.
Publishing my comics. That's what I need.
However you want to look at it. All right, so.
Hello, everybody in the chat. I see people saying hello.
I did not send, you know what I just realized, Jay? I did not send you the picture. It's been a crazy day just trying to get last minute stuff done. The giveaway tonight is Captain America 323.
Do you want me to hold the book up or something?
Well, yeah, I'll get scanned the first break.
We should have done it like Pictionary, like made them guess what the giveaway is with clues and stuff.
All right, so first appearance of John Walker. Captain America number 323 is giveaway.
Oh, wow.
I will have a picture after the first break. All right, so let's make the hashtag EXP SDCC. How about that?
And I want to jump this out there right now, all jokes aside about Cobra Kai. Tonight, Robbie's going to be talking about Blade. And that's sort of, I love Blade, man. There's, like Robbie's show is entertaining or whatever, but
I thought you did that one already.
No. I saw tonight. They're going to be talking about.
Yeah, believe it or not, we have not done Blade yet. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I was kind of, when I saw that, I was psyched. Man, I was looking forward to that.
I haven't seen Cobra Kai yet. I haven't had time. I was helping my girlfriend move over the weekend, so I haven't had a chance to dive in. But I'm very excited to do that.
They're kind of doing it like in 2 parts. Season 6,
3 parts.
break, and then apparently it's going to kind of lead into the movie.
So I'm curious how they're going to do the movie. So Jackie Chan's supposed to be in it?
I don't know if they've sort of dropped. Well, you know what? I don't want to say anything because people haven't watched it yet. I've kind of watched it twice, the episodes that are out, so I don't want to say anything. But they're sort of, I don't even want to say it's breadcrumbs, but they're sort of putting stuff out there that I could see where in a movie, Jackie Chan type thing, I could see where they're sort of going a little bit.
So, Corey, I guarantee you he is not going to review all 3 Blade movies because I believe that Robbie does not acknowledge that Blade 3
There's only 2 Blade
exists.
Yeah, there's only 2 Blade movies, and we're only doing the first one tonight. It would be really cool. It would be super cool if there was a 3rd Blade movie that involved Dracula that even starred one of my favorite actors of all time, Parker Posey, but that just never happened.
Never happened. Somebody did mention, Marcus just mentioned, the Spike TV Blade series. I think that's...
I haven't seen that.
I watched
Let me tell y'all something. I like that series, John. With Sticky Fingers as Blade, I really like that series. No lie.
When that series first came out, I was not there for it. And then I watched it later. Like, I think I found somebody put all the episodes on YouTube or something. And I'm like, why was I late to this party? You know, it's like I did like a complete 180. The series, I'm like, this isn't what I was looking for in the series and blah, blah, blah. And it was hard for me to get past anyone that wasn't Wesley Snipes being Blade. But then I watched it, I'm going to say maybe 3-4 years later on YouTube. And I'm like, why did I not like this? This is good. Like, the penny finally dropped. I'm like,
I really like it too. A lot of people, they just kind of talk smack about that series. I don't know if they really watched it. Plus, I didn't watch it when it was on Spike TV, but I watched it when it released on DVD, and it released on DVD in an unrated form. I was like, what does that even mean? And it has nudity, it's got pictures, it's got content, it's like awesome. It's like super awesome.
You're the second person to tell me that the unrated version of that is significantly better than what people got on Spike TV, like significantly. Now I haven't seen it. I have a couple buddies who have the DVDs. Somebody has like a different region DVD player, so even though he brings the DVD over, like couldn't play it at my house. But apparently, if you are a Blade fan and the 2 movies are not enough, go check out the series. At least I think so.
The only problem is that it ends on a cliffhanger, and they never did a season 2. So that's the only problem.
That is not ideal. I forgot about that.
I did not know there was a series. I really didn't.
You know what? Like I said, I watched it on Spike, and I was like, eh. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, you know what? They did a good job here.
Really?
You have to just accept somebody else's Spike. Like, for me, that's hard, right? When they're changing to James Bond, when they're changing to Superman, it takes me a little bit to get there.
All right. Corey is one of the people that acknowledges that there was a 3rd Blade movie.
Oh, Robbie's going to think we might have a chat for that. I can see this coming.
What's that?
I just don't know what he's talking about. There's no such thing.
So
there's no 3rd Blade movie. There's no 4th Matrix movie. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I honestly think that what they're calling the 4th Matrix movie is just an SNL skit that's real long.
Yes.
Like, they just let it run over for the pandemic. That's what it reminds me of. Like,
it was okay.
Keanu Reeves was the guest on SNL.
I see what they were trying to do. They didn't quite pull it off, but I see, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. So, I see where they were going with
I didn't love it either. It is bomb bad.
Collecting too damn many. An Acolyte watched the whole thing, and
no, stop! Don't even bring that
still
up.
Sucks. All right. So
I understand people are enjoying the Acolyte. Good. I don't ever want to, poop in anyone's cornflakes or anything. But the Acolyte is just—it's gotten to the point where it's unwatchable for me. Apparently, like a flashlight, if you drop a lightsaber on a rock, it stops working.
I really like the lightsaber fight scenes. They're really good.
I use the lightsaber fight scenes to quantify how bad the Acolyte is. There are regular lightsaber fight scenes, which Star Wars fans have been conditioned to wait for happily. The show is still awful. Still. With lightsaber duels. If that's the case, it makes me go watch Obi-Wan again.
Yeah, that was not so good either. I have to admit. But
no. And I understand not everything is going to be Andor. Okay, I get it. They're not going to hit, not everything is going to be the massive commercial success of The Mandalorian. I get that.
Right.
There's going to be hits and misses. But this is neither a critical success, creative success like Andor, nor is it a commercial success like The Mandalorian was. It's just...
I will say that
it's neither fish nor fowl.
I have been able to get into House of the Dragon finally, and I'm enjoying it. It's a little gory. I have to say, I am amazed at the gore, but I am enjoying it. So I am watching it, waiting for the next episode to come out.
Somebody compared the difference between Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon as classic Hollywood horror and then 60s and 70s Hollywood horror. Both are good. One is just much gorier than the other.
I would agree with that.
And that I thought that was sort of like a real sharp sort of like analysis. They're like, remember how you'd see like horror movies in the 50s and 60s? They were creepy, but then you got to the 70s and they were just painting the walls.
Yeah, I have to admit that the House of Dragon is far gorier than I thought it would be.
I do have my Deadpool tickets for Thursday at 3:00.
Patrick, we have not yet, bud. So just to reiterate, unfortunately, I know in the emailer it said that Ken Hazel was going to be here tonight. Unfortunately, due to deadlines, he could not make it tonight. So we are going to have him on a future show. We don't know when yet, but he and I are going to try to coordinate so everybody will have plenty of notice, because today was kind of a last minute thing. I happened to run into him in the office on last Thursday, and we kind of talked about it. He thought he was going to be here working, and didn't work out that way. So that's why he's not here today. All right. So I apologize in advance, or I apologize now, not in advance, but. So we are going to plan another show another day, and I will give everybody more than enough notice so you know when it's going to be. All right? All right, let's get started. Jay, we're going to start at the top, and Alberto, no, don't leave. All right, we're going to start at the top, and
I really can't say I blame him for not leaving if there's no Ken.
Thanks, John. You're really helpful. All right, so first up, as always, we do the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, so $40 retail value. And as always, we do it for $5 for the group. Then we got rid of the DF grab bag 3 and 7-pack because it seemed kind of stupid. And we combined it into the 10-pack. So all of the grab bags are $1 a comic. So the DF grab bag 10-pack in the Marvel DC is $10. Then we have the DF grab bag 15-pack. Same deal in the Marvel DC, and we have it for $15. Then, of course, we always have the X-Men random 20-pack. 20 random X-Men titles from 1990s with a chance of the 1980s or 2000s. Books are 9.0 or better. And we have that for 20. And your best value is the grab bag combo packs. So that is all 4 grab bags and a reader set. And we've got that for $25. So that is obviously your best value. And what has been fairly popular is the DF mystery box. So 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive cover, and 10 back issues. And guaranteed $200 minimum value, and we've got it for $100. Yeah, Marcus. So Marcus, that I forget when, last week, when you asked me if I watched episode 4, I did. I didn't realize I had, but I did watch it. So I've come to the end, which is what, 5? So I'm waiting for them to drop the next episode. So I was kind of frustrated. I thought I had not watched it all, but I did. So yeah, I am really enjoying it actually. So eager to see what the next episode entails. All right, so let's get on. Let's see. Wait, did they drop another one? So I think
would have dropped last night, right? Because it comes out on Sundays, doesn't it?
And I have not watched it, so I have something to watch tonight when I get home.
Cool. What, the next episode of
House of Dragons? I have not seen it.
You know what? I used to love
cool. Thanks, Marcus.
I mean, I remember going to like bars to watch the X-Files. That's how much I used to be in. Now with stuff just sort of whenever you watch it, people be like, "Oh, when does that come on?" No idea. It comes on when I hit the button because everything is on demand now. I have no idea. People are like, "Oh, do you know there's this? You know there's that?" No. Sometimes I'll either miss an episode and then I have 2 episodes to watch, or I'll try to watch the same episode like 3 times in a week.
All right.
My wife is like, "You
Patrick, you got it, bud." Patrick, make sure you fill out the claim form, which is pinned at the top of the chat, I think. It helps us with billing and everything else. Okay, but I got you down, Patrick.
Ron just shared a picture of me. We were talking about Blade. I don't know if Ron is in the chat, but Ron just shared a picture of me with me of this sort of Blade kind of statue base he had to put on.
Right.
Hopefully he'll share it at some point with wow. Ron's house was like a Warner Brothers store from like the 90s in the mall.
Okay. Mike, we sure can. Let me see. Let me make sure. She did not like Garbage Pail Kids. All right, gotcha.
Well, Garbage Pail Kids kind of has a specific, almost like retro audience, right?
Right.
Like I've learned that in the different comic chats. There's people who are like, God bless Nick for bringing back Garbage Pail Kids, and then there's other people. Usually they're like in their teens or 20s that are like, eh.
Yeah, you got to be over 40 to be into Garbage Pail Kids, right?
Yeah,
I think that's 100%.
I have not seen Furiosa, right? Is new Mad Max movie?
Yeah,
it's a Mad Max movie. I don't,
Have you seen it?
I feel.
Oh, of course you have.
I've seen it several times.
I think it's a great movie. I loved it.
It's a great movie.
Is it streaming yet?
I don't know.
I think it is actually now.
Is it? I was going to say, I think I've seen it like a month or even maybe 2 months ago. Maybe it's been a little bit.
It's not streaming yet. It's available to rent it's actually available to buy digitally, but it's not streaming yet.
Okay, it's not streaming, but
whoa, Lyle, what's going on where you are, dude? Wildfires. Ooh. I did not know that, dude.
Doesn't he live in British Columbia or something?
Oh, well, somewhere in Canada. I don't know where.
Oh, yeah, maybe, well,
exactly. Well, I don't remember.
I'm
glad to know you're okay, Lyle.
We're almost at a point now when I turn on the news and the weather where I'm not sure if I have on the Weather Channel or the Sci-Fi Channel. Because like every time I turn something on, some city is underwater, some like entire township is on fire. You know what I mean? There's always some kind of horrible thing, so I double check, and of course I always feel bad.
Lyle is in BC,
British Columbia. Okay, yeah, I mean, you don't think of Canada being dry, I guess, or wildfire, but 2/3 of the country is like this beautiful, lush forest, sort of North American forest or whatever. We had wildfires in the Pine Barrens, so yeah.
Well, Lyle spent all his time in the Antarctic and only come back to wildfires.
He's going to re-enlist or whatever.
Yeah, he's going to go.
Next year, he'll be on a plane north again.
Canada dry, Marcus.
Everybody, stay safe, man. Whatever. I had another friend. She's in Texas. She hasn't had power for days and days. Jeez. Wherever you are, whatever's going wrong, please stay safe. All our
Hey, Jay, did you get power back?
It came on Tuesday, but it was off and on. Finally, Tuesday night, Wednesday, very early, it finally came on for good. So I'm back home.
So how long was it altogether?
8 or 9 days, because it was Monday at like 6:45 in the morning the week before it went out.
I cannot tell you, I guess because I'm super soft here in New Jersey, I cannot tell you how much respect I have for people when they're like, I've been a week without power. PSC&G and I have a deal. You've got about 12 hours to get my power on. And if you don't, I'm packing a bag and I'm going to a hotel where they do have power.
I'm sure it motivates the workers enormously to hear that.
That's just how
John Colt's gonna leave his house, everyone, quick.
They don't care. They absolutely don't care.
I know they don't care.
Every time they're looking for me to give the nod for more utility stuff, I'm like, no, you can't even keep the lights on now. What do you mean you need more stuff? So, absolutely not.
Well, Jay, I'm happy you are back at home and you have power. That's crazy, dude. I think that in Mount Laurel years ago, at least my neighborhood, it was gone for like 3, maybe 4 days. And I was about
we had Mount Laurel power outage, and that's exactly what it was. It was about 12 hours. It was from when my previous dog, had passed several years ago, and before we adopted the princess we have now.
Right.
I told my wife, I said, there's no power. She goes, when did the power go off? I'm like, 8 hours ago. She's like, pack me a bag. So from work, packed, well, boom.
Out you go.
Right down to Atlantic City.
Fair enough.
Power, air conditioning, lovely room, dinner whenever I want it.
All right. So, all right, we got to go to break at 6:24. So we got lots of sketch covers tonight, and I did it because even though I knew that Ken wasn't coming, so I did include a Ken Hazer sketch cover of none other than Lady Deadpool, and it's going to be our best offer item of the night. So stay tuned. We'll do that when we get back, and let me push that to you. The giveaway into Slack, Jay. I'll have it for you when we get back from break. All right, stay with us. Hey, we'll be right back.
Order Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today.
Something is speaking to you.
Buy more comics.
Just at the edge of your perception.
Buy more comics.
Your senses fill with visions of vortices.
360 comics.
Slowly drawing you to one thundering epiphany.
360 comics!
360 comics!
The universe is telling you to shop with 360 Comics. Joe's got amazing stock from high dollar to $5 books from Silver Age to modern, CGC, variant covers, and more. 360 Comics every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, part of the experience.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it.
We are back. All right. Thank you, Jay.
Oh, Ronald is here. Ron, I was just letting people know the picture that Ron sent me. Ron should be doing tours of his house. There's a staggering amount of statues and comic book art, and just Ron does collecting properly. That's really all I can say.
Yeah, he does.
Ron absolutely does collecting.
I will find out for you, and hopefully he's watching the chats right now, so he'll be able to answer directly. Out there he is. So collecting dude. All right, so there you go. Perfect. All right, so Ron, we will email you, buddy, and
hopefully there's Scotty Young covers in there if it's for a 12-year-old girl. Right?
I have no idea what else.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, doesn't that kind of make sense? Oh, there it is.
It needs to be invoiced, though.
There you go. All right. So we'll take care of that tomorrow morning, Ron. All right. So these sketch covers. And yeah, you
I
compare
agree,
it with
Marcus.
John. John's got a collection as well.
Between Ron and I, we could probably cover this table with wristwatches.
All right, so first up, we've got Despicable Deadpool number 287 with Man-Thing cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
All I'm going to say is if there's not a dead thing in the movie, they're really missing out.
It's just a retail of $129.99.
Did I get that wrong?
What?
Well, because it says Elvis Cardona on it.
Yeah, no, that's correct. That's correct.
Oh, it's Elvis and Joe Del Beato.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So they're doing a bunch of stuff together now. Mariano has decided to put them together, and it's working out well, I think. Don't you think?
Well, this way Mariano can focus on getting me the trading cards and stuff that I need from his
Yeah,
desk.
that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, I actually said to him, he was laughing. I said, how about we cut through the middleman stuff? Don't make me wait till you leave. Just put a little box out for me, and I won't have to go through your drawer. I didn't realize he was on the phone. He had it mute because he was laughing so hard.
All right, next up, we have Deadpool and Merch for Money, number 1 with Wolverine versus Ninja Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Eric Negron. So our buddy Joe Del Beato is working with a bunch of different artists.
So is he doing the
I'm
inking?
sorry about that, Jay. Yes, no, that's on me. I'm so used to saying Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. I must have slipped out. Freudian slip. All right, so it's just
you get paid tens of dollars every year to get this right, so I'd appreciate it.
It's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it tonight for $75.
You know, I hear there's a little movie coming up with those two soon.
I was just going to say,
that too.
This is sort of your chance to, have something like, point of the spear at the moment type thing. You know what I mean? It's.
I don't know if anybody saw it, but they just released like another new trailer for that movie, like the final trailer in which they spoil another thing in it or whatever. But
in it, I think.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
That trailer is like really moving, which is odd. Like the trailer itself is really moving.
Well, they're trying to give it real gravity because Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are actually actors, not just like mannequins for like.
Hey, Miguel.
Movies and stuff like that. So I think they decided, hey, look, if we're going to really kind of lean into the Save the Marvel Universe thing, they're trying to do some like serious performances, not just, I mean, let's be honest, Deadpool is like slapstick comedy. Even Ryan Reynolds admits it.
Right.
The job here is to make people laugh.
Goodness. So apparently Jay just said there was another one after that. So they just keep releasing trailers, spoiling little cameos. That's funny.
They still have to pay to watch it. I'll wait. I'll watch the cameos, then watch it when it streams. All right. So next up,
I would be upset if I didn't have Nick's number 3. That's all I'm going to say.
Next up, we have Despicable Deadpool number 300, Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. This one is Mariano and Joe.
This I really like. This almost is like Deadpool, the animated series. I absolutely love this.
It's just a retail of $129.99.
The outline.
And we have it for $75 tonight.
Marcus, Rex is spoiler free because he won't see this movie until November.
Yep. I'll be fine. It doesn't even bother me. People say, I don't want to spoil it for you. I go, look, it's going to get spoiled at some point.
Thursday, I'm seeing it at 3 p.m. and then again at 10 something. And then I'm seeing it again Saturday morning, like Friday morning, first thing in the morning.
Hey, Matt. He's back. At least until when you go back, Matt Carper. Curious. I thought you said August, September. I don't know. I don't remember what you said last time. But it's nice to have you back, bud. All right. Next up, we have Hunt for Wolverine number 1 with Wolverine cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $129.99. And we've got it tonight for $75.
This is like what? This is, the Wolverine number 1, almost like an homage.
Yeah, the Frank Miller homage, but with the blue and yellow.
All right. Then we've got Catwoman 80th Anniversary with Darkseid cover sketch by Eric Negron. This is a real nice one.
That is a bizarre choice for a Catwoman blank, but I like it. I like the color in the back and the way it plays off Darkseid. You know what I mean? It's very much a Darkseid is cover. I like that.
All right, it's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it tonight for $75. All right, this one, I really like this guy, Tony Scott's work. All right, I don't know what it is. There you go. It is Immortal Thor #1 with the Enchantress cover sketch by Tony Scott. It's just a retail of $129.99. We've got it for $75 tonight.
I'll tell you how neat this is. If you're sort of reading Immortal Thor, this is like a riff on Alex Ross's Enchantress cover. And I have to tell you, this is really, really, really well done. The color of her headpiece, wow. I'm just super impressed by this.
All right, so then this is the one I was talking about. Deadpool #1 with Lady Deadpool cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $99.99. We're going to make it our best offer item, starting at $10. So let's do it.
Oh, you know what, though? I think I want to get this inked in pink, so it's Gwenpool.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to make an offer. So there you go.
I had a friend who asked me, is there anything they could do with the Gwen Stacy character that you would hate? No. They can make Gwen Stacy anything.
All right, so Patrick is in at 15. All right, so Marcus was in at 10, but Patrick's already at 15, Lyle. All right, so Commander and Beef
25.
is at 20. And all right, Patrick moves to 25.
Preston, you gotta understand. Preston comments about Enchantress falling out of her dress. Look at where I am. I have 40 years of Vampirella fan. That's like entry level falling out of her costume to me.
Right. All right, so we
very good work, but come on, man. I'm a Vampirella fan.
We got Patrick in the lead at 25. All right, Matt Harper.
35, nice. It's very cool. I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I like the black and white with the touch of red, with the hearts and the love and all that. That's nice.
Matt is at 45. 40. I can actually see someone using this as a tattoo template, like a hardcore Deadpool fan or something. A couple of years ago at Wizard World in Philadelphia, I met someone, and they had like 5 different Deadpool tattoos, and it was very cool. You know, they sort of
people going ham over this one. I love
seeing some action.
Well, it's very, very cool.
It is very cool. Right about that. All right, and if anybody folds, just let us know. All right, 70. So I'm going to let this go on for, I don't know. How long do you think?
I say until it stops. With the way these guys are acting, until it stops. Let's see how high they can go.
Take it until the break. 6:45 is the next break, or am I making that up in my head?
Thank you, Marcus, for folding. I appreciate it. All right. So it looks like Matt is going to win this at 75. All right, so I'm going to. All right, so
Matt won something. That, you know what? I was just going to say that. I was waiting for Jay. Matt finally won something.
All right, so let's leave a minute for anybody who wants to. All right, so we'll leave for a minute.
$75.
And if nobody else jumps in a minute's time, it's Matt Carper.
See, this thing is this is really, really, really well done.
I don't know if you won a pen before.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm surprised Ron didn't jump on the Enchantress cover, because that Enchantress cover is very, very cool. I thought that might be something Ron would look at.
You may still.
I know Ron likes to give other people.
Yeah, he likes to give people chances, right? Ron's a nice guy.
That Enchantress cover is just.
It's the way that he does the color works so well. The way he uses it to kind of like model the dimensionality of the faces and stuff.
He has a unique style. I gotta tell you.
Well, there's sort of almost like a slight embarrassment of riches in Mariano's desk now. Jessica Court, Tony Scott, Elvis Cardona's done some really cool stuff.
Yes, he has.
I know I'm forgetting somebody.
Eric Negron.
No, the brothers. I can't think of their name. Eric Negron.
The Franks.
Thank you. There is some serious.
Matt, you got it, bud.
You know what I mean? I'm super impressed by, Mariano's got himself like a nice little, in the old days they used to say it's a nice Rolodex on his desk.
Right. Rolodex. You are doing yourself. All right. So let's do a quick. Thanks, Matt. All right, let's do a quick.
That's totally Enchantress, and it's the Marvel Enchantress. She's a Norse goddess, so she's like a villain to Thor. Jay.
I saw someone said Polaris. That's not Polaris. That's
Polaris has green hair, so it's totally not her.
Yeah. All right. And just real recently, probably the best the Enchantress has looked in a long time in a mainstream book is Alex Ross did an Immortal Thor cover, and it's this great sort of her ripping the book, and then the book is sort of like a copy of Journey into Mystery. It's really kind of a, you can Google it and go look at it. I don't know if it's Immortal Thor, maybe 11 or 14. It's just a great cover, and it's cool to see them, kind of use that energy a little bit, I think. Very neat.
All right, so don't worry, I'll take care of Matt some way, somehow. All right, so let's do a Rex cap on the cover sketches. And no movement. All right, well, guess it's time to slice prices, slash, and dice. All right, here we go. Despicable Deadpool number 287 with Man-Thing cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Elvis Cardona. Just a retail of $129.99. We have it 75. I'll do it for 70.
I like when we can see people's work improve like before our eyes. I know that sounds over melodramatic, but literally we're seeing their like from cover to cover, you see them kind of improving in real time. Very cool. I mean, this is when you make someone like a cover that isn't necessarily a fan of the character. To me, that's always like the mark of like talent.
Right.
You know what I mean? There are certain characters I've never been super warmly embraced, like Doctor Strange. I like the character, but I'm not running out to buy the book. When there's like an artist on that book that makes me like, oh, I have to get this. And this is another thing. I think this is another one. Great character, not, something I immediately go run to get. This is very cool.
All right, next up we have Deadpool and Mercs for Money, number 1 with Wolverine versus Ninja Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Eric Negron. Just a retail of $129.99. We have it for 75. I'm gonna make this one 60.
Ooh. Okay, this one has like real playful energy. I mean, not quite Scotty Young, but it sort of has a little bit of a.
It's got like a Japanese influence, right? With the cherry blossoms or whatever.
I think it's cherry blossoms. There's a little text there.
All right.
A book like this has a. I'm trying to look and see what he's holding. It's not like baby pool, is it, or something? You see that? Is that something he's holding, like a baby?
Who, Deadpool?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. He's got like a guard
okay,
on his
or something. Okay, I see what it is. All right.
All right. So then we had Despicable Deadpool number 300. Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Just a retail of $129.99. We have for 75. I'll make this one 60 as well.
This art style almost reminds me of what like Noir sees in The Boys, because he's sort of like damaged.
All right, then we've got Hunt for Wolverine, number 1 with Wolverine cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
Really nailed the face here. Like, you know what I mean? Like the sort of, I don't know what's called a smirk, but almost like not grimace either. I don't know what you'd call that, but.
So it's just a retail of $129.99. We had it for $75. I'm gonna make this $60 as well. Nobody jumping on a cover sketch tonight. That's weird. All right. So then we've got Catwoman 80th anniversary with Darkseid cover sketch by Eric Negron. It's just a retail. All right, Patrick, gotcha, bud. All right. Where did I leave off? All right, Darkseid. It's just a retail of $129.99. We have for $75. I'll make that $60 as well.
I really like this. I wish the picture was just a little more centered. I'll have to take a look at this at the. I just sent you a picture. I don't know if you want to send that to Jay or Robbie or something. That's what I was just talking about.
I can't.
Can you just text it?
I don't have Jay's number, I don't think. So.
Number? He's probably on a walkie-talkie.
Like you have number?
Texas is in like the 19th century.
He's got some G.I. Joe walkie-talkies from the 80s.
I'm imagining him telling Jenna, "Oh, we have to start the show," so he's got to run it off his truck battery.
All right, so then we've got let me see, Immortal Thor #1 with Enchantress cover sketch by Tony Scott.
Yeah,
suggested retail of $129.99. We have for $75. I'll make this one $70. All right, so
Dick Tracy video wristwatch. There are two different versions of that. There's one version which is like a toy version, which you can find on eBay, and then there's a version, I don't know if Microsoft or somebody did it, and every time this thing goes in and out of my bidding range, like it starts at 100 and I'll throw in a bid, and the next thing you know, it's like $1,000. And the thing doesn't even work anymore. People just want it. Dick Tracy is one of those books. Alex Segura doing an amazing job.
Right.
Go read that book.
Issue 3 out this week.
And I was going to say, is that this week? And it's weird. Every friend I have, especially people in the comics chats, are like, dude, you must hate this, because those people know I'm a Dick Tracy fan. I love the Dick Tracy comic strips. It's like one of the first, my introduction to the art form pretty much comes from my dad, little kid reading Sunday comics with Dick Tracy, right? I read it I kind of put that to the side. The first 2 issues of this thing are amazing. I'll tell you right now, even if you're not a Dick Tracy fan, go read this. It is really well written and drawn.
And it's a good setup for what a new cinematic interpretation of Dick Tracy could look like, I think.
Yes, that's
like something more violent, less cartoony, but still Dick Tracy. I love it.
Well, that's sort of, like Dick Tracy is like almost like a moment in time. I realize they've kind of done a million different things with it, but the primary Dick Tracy work in the comic strips, like 30s through 60s, it's like trapped in time.
Right.
And the further you move from that, like Dick Tracy on a space shuttle, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I've flipped through some of the Chester Gold stuff, like the collections that they've been putting out. Yeah. And man, I just wish I had infinite resources, because I would buy every single volume of that, man. Because they're like 50, 60 bucks.
Like there's only so many that you can afford, but there's one from the 1940s. It's called like Golden 40s or something. I paid like $100 for this thing. And my wife was disturbed. Like I didn't even look at the price. I just picked it up. I forget where we were. We were on vacation and popped into a bookstore. I picked it up. I walked over to the register. And she's just like, she can't believe that I'm just buying it. It is the best collection of 1940s Dick Tracy comics I've seen by far. And it's super expensive. It's a very nice kind of slipcase cover. You can find them online, but they're expensive. There's not a lot of them, and it's almost like the original Kingdom Come slipcase. Came out. If you paid the money, Alex Ross and Mark Waid signed them. Nobody's selling that.
All right, so I'm sorry, Jay. We are over the break time.
Oh, sorry.
-3. All right, we're gonna go to break to hang out. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Take us out, Jay.
Whoa. Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So.
It's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
Hardbacks. What?
All right, we're back. All right.
Whoever that was, the Vampirella hardbacks are very cool. They're really, really neat. I kind of liked where you had the Warren years, the Harris years, the Dynamite years, or I thought the formats were very, very cool. A buddy of mine bought some of those, and he was surprised. I said, "There's a lot of Vampirella." I said, "It's 50 years, man." Right. I said, "It's not continuous where like Vampirella 2000 is being published this month, but Vampirella gets published for 50 years." Dave Stevens' Vampirella cover is very cool.
Let's do sign books.
Much like anything that Dave Stevens does.
All right, let's move to sign books. All right, so these are bargain basement prices. All right, Incredible Hulk. The George Perez variant, signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. It's just at retail of $39.99. We have tonight for $20. Signed in John's favorite color, green.
The emerald. I guess I should point out, how there's like gold and silver signature series? Mm-hmm. I don't know if Dynamic Forces has ever embraced officially the emerald signature series, but
this would be the Gamma signature series, though, right? Gamma green.
Gamma green. I like that. That's good.
Gamma green signature.
Y'all can have that. You can just run with that if you want. Gamma green limited edition.
Yeah, wait till his invoice comes.
I like it that much. I mean, I like it, but not that much. All right. So,
to this day, I think maybe the single coolest green book that Dynamite did, ironically, was not for the Green Hornet or even for Green Llama. Somebody mentioned Green Llama in the chat. I pester Nick periodically for Green Llama. They did a cover for Sheena, Queen of the Jungle.
Right.
And it is like metallic emerald ink. And it's signed by, I think it's Scott Lobdell in emerald. And this is like the single greatest green cover I've seen, not just from Dynamite, but anywhere. The way they kind of got it, it's very much like an emerald foil cover. It's wild.
All right, so next up we have Detective Comics number 1000, signed in gold by Scott Schneider. It's just at retail $29.99, and we've got tonight for $45. Oh, this is a wraparound cover, obviously.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, wraparound cover by Jim Lee.
I'll tell you a version of Robin I would like to see revisited.
What's that?
And I feel bad because I can't remember the creative team, But there was an Elseworlds book called Robin 3000. And that world and that Robin was very cool. And I think you only maybe saw it in the Robin 3000, and I think it might have been referenced once or twice more, like in Elseworlds Annuals or something. I would love to see an updated modern take on that.
Right.
Because that's probably 90s, early 2000s at the moment.
Yeah, why you like it so much is it's by Byron Priest, but the art's by P. Craig Russell. That's one of the reasons. And I remember that too, because it's what's his name? It's Tom Wayne in the Robin of the Far Future.
Robin of the Far Future, and it's different. I mean, every Robin they kind of tweak a little bit to sort of, like I guess people from our generation in the 80s, their favorite Robin is either, if it's not Dick Grayson, it's probably going to be Carrie Kelly, right? They just sort of found a way to kind of take all these really sort of cool elements and make this Robin unique. And I'd hoped, I'm like, maybe we'll see this as a book. And no, it apparently did not have the support editorially that I'd hoped. And,
right.
Yeah, just a 2-issue Elseworlds from 1993.
Yeah, that's so we're
31 years ago, y'all.
30 years ago, yeah. If you guys find it like in a dollar bin or something, it's a cool read. And the art, like Robbie said, is neat. The art's very neat.
All right, next up we have Defenders #1, signed by Terry Dodson. Suggested retail $29.99, and we got it tonight for $15.
Doctor Strange in the much better costume.
I do like this Doctor Strange costume. I hate that they kind of went away from it, but I mean, I guess I like the classic costume, but I don't know. This seemed more modern, sleeker, cooler to me.
Well, I'm sort of really in the minority. My favorite Doctor Strange costume is the first one Steve Ditko gave him. I like the old amulet. It's just, and they revisited it in a recent, one of the recent Doctor Strange series.
Right.
Like, I guess he sort of left a part of himself in that era.
Yeah, the death of Doctor Strange, right?
Doctor Strange. So they're like, like open in case I'm dead. And he appears, but he's got the haircut, and he talks the way he was sort of scripted. Or it's cool. It's like
I've always been partial to, I like the one with the mask, but I've always been partial to the one in the 90s where he had the long hair and wore sunglasses, and he was trying to be like, they were trying to be Vertigo edgy.
You're absolutely right. It had like a Chris, I almost forgot that. It had like almost like a Chris Angel vibe.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Supergirl Rebirth #1. It's the Hughes variant.
Nice.
Signed by Steve Orlando. It's just a retail of $29.99, and we have tonight for $15.
Adam Hughes covers are always hot. It does not matter what book it is. It does not matter. Like if I get a collection in and it's got Adam Hughes covers, they are gone within like 2 days.
Yeah, I was going to say, Thomas,
right,
somebody take this, please. Good job. Adam Hughes Vampirella covers from Harris are so incredibly hard to find, and anything for a reasonable price. They really are. People say, oh, no, according to the internet, it should be like $10. Good luck finding one for $10. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck finding one for $10.
Yeah, people that have them don't usually like to get rid of them.
I'm going to see if I have another one, all right, for you. I may have another one. It's not going to be #1, but I will look.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great grab.
All right, so.
And I think that's the kind of thing, if they really wanted to push like a big sale, like if they could get Adam Hughes to do like a 4-issue Supergirl miniseries, I'd like to see what kind of sales number that pops.
All right.
Not just the cover, the whole book.
Right. All right, so next up we have Action Comics #974, signed in red by Dan Jurgens. It's just a retail of $49.99. We have tonight for $25.
This initial rebirth era of Superman, both Superman and Action Comics, were great. Peter J. Tomasi was doing Superman, Dan Jurgens was doing Action Comics, everything was working, and then they decided to give Superman books to Bendis, and it took a few years to get him back on track after that.
I feel bad because Brian Bendis has written a couple of my all-time favorite books.
Me too. He's great, dude. Ultimate Spider-Man, Powers, Jinx, Torso, Goldfish. He's great.
Powers. he took on a few things which he said were passion projects, like Superman and Legion of Superheroes, and somehow it just it didn't work. I mean, the guy kind of created, or at least co-created, the Ultimates universe, right? So I love the Ultimates universe. I have a huge amount of appreciation, respect, gratitude. But man, trying to get through some of his like Legion of Superhero stuff,
Right.
I'm like,
his work at DC was just a bit weak. I don't know what, maybe he had a bunch of ideas for DC before, but maybe he utilized all of them. He did so many superhero comics for Marvel in a short period. I think he just kind of lost the touch a little bit when he got ready to do Superman.
One of the chat groups I was in, that was the combination that night. It was called like Bendis Burnout with a question. That was sort of the thing. Like, this guy had done so much stuff. Is he out? You know what I mean? Should he do like a Robin Hood book or something to just kind of, maybe recharge or take a little break?
Then I was thinking about this, like in let's say the early 2000s, right? Part of our discussion was Chris Claremont was on Extreme X-Men. And we're like, this book doesn't pop as much as like the Grant Morrison or the Joe Casey stuff, right? By the way, Joe Casey, Johnny Quest, FOC today. Make sure you get your orders in before the end of the day. So we were talking like, well, Chris Claremont, his heyday was like 20 years ago at that point. It was like in the 80s, right? Yeah. Like that X-Men stuff was great, but some writers just don't, when styles and techniques shift and the audience shifts, right? Because like Julie Schwartz was the one that said at DC, like every 10 to 15 years, you kind of got to do a reboot because you got a new generation of readers coming in, right? So but now we're as far removed from Bendis's peak as we were during Bendis's peak to Claremont's peak. So it's just like, it's the rhythmic nature. You know what I'm saying?
Who kind of referenced something similar to that was JR Jr. He had talked about every 10, 15, 20 years, there's a new generation of people. Right. And he's like, I hear it. He's like, he kind of grew up in the industry, and he hears those fans that are seeing a fifth crisis. You know what I mean? The third mutant massacre. Like, they've seen it, right? But he always tries to sort of stress that for a large group of people, this is sort of like their first time. Right. Like, Nick loves to talk about the first time he read Crisis. I think Nick has even said Crisis is like maybe his favorite, his favorite series or whatever. But so when they do another Crisis, maybe Nick likes it, but it's not going to have the same impact. It's the same with me in Kingdom Come. They've done this a whole bunch of times now. Superman's good, he's bad, he's old, he's this, he's that. Nothing is quite that same impact as the first time you see, like, a middle-aged Superman making that disgusted dad face at these like over-the-top, laughably bad characters, which are sort of poking fun a little bit at some of the 90s stuff, right? That you did, you know what I mean? Everyone saw someone tell me, oh, they got another Superman thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like, I'll buy it. I'll read it. Old Superman is like a favorite of mine, but it's just not the same. So it's kind of hard to remember for somebody else, though. It's the first time they've seen Superman with white hair.
Somebody needs to pick up. I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to say somebody needs to pick up this Gamma Green Hulk comic and that Heat Vision Red comic, Superman, by Dan Jurgens. Somebody needs to pick those up.
All right, next up we have Ultimate Comics Wolverine #1, first printing by Cullen Bunn. It's just at retail of $29.99. We've got it tonight for $15.
It's nice that Cullen signed this book, but it's worth the price of admission alone for the Arthur Adams cover. Look at that cover, y'all. Come on.
That's just...
I got to meet him at MegaCon for the first time, and I was so freaking stoked. I've been a huge Art Adams fan for a long time. My first time I noticed his work was when he did with Walt Simonson, the Fantastic Four 3-issue series where the new Fantastic Four show up and Hulk and Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Spider-Man take over. I ate that stuff up, and he was so cool and gracious and awesome. I got him to sign the Fantastic Four, and I got him to sign the issue of X-Men where Storm picks up Mjolnir. Super cool stuff. He doesn't have any hair to smell, Corey.
People in the chat are talking about, we'll say, simians in comics. I am a super sucker for simians in comics. They've done Ape Vengers. They've done JL Apes. If you put a gorilla in a comic, there's a really good chance I'm going to buy.
Dude, they just recently did for April. They did their April special, and it was a bunch of like a throwback to that kind of day, and it was a really good, solid one-shot comic.
Detective Chimp, I love. Planet of the Apes, I've pretty much bought every version of Planet of the Apes they've done. But there's Monkey Man and O'Brien. There's Angel and the Ape. There's some really, for some reason, apes just work in comics. I don't know if because they're like anthropomorphic compared to, we've got cats in comics, we've got dogs in comics.
Right.
Something about the apes where, I was just going to say that. Gorilla Man and Agents of Atlas. Ken Hale is one of my favorite characters.
Well, and speaking of Arthur Adams, what about Monkey Man and O'Brien? Are you a fan of that one?
Yeah. Jeff Parker has said a couple times that he really enjoyed doing Agents of Atlas, but the joy in writing stuff for Ken Hale, Gorilla Man.
Gotcha, Mike.
It's a lot of fun. Yes, I haven't read that stuff. I picked it up, the MonsterVerse stuff, because King Kong is in it.
Right.
The Kong stuff that Dynamite did, I just loved. It's like a prequel to like the 1930s movie, and I just I love that. I thought they did such a good job there. Like the German U-boat, and they think they're so they're the master race, and then they're looking at like a giant ape. Very cool stuff.
All right, next up we have Death of Wolverine, signed in gold by Charles Soule. It's just a retail of $89.99, and we have tonight for $45.
And we've got Blip and Space Ghost right now, which is Blip. While they're doing an amazing job on Space Ghost,
right,
they did an amazing job fleshing out the other characters, including Blip.
All right.
Oh no, HR Puff and stuff. Don't do that earworm for people, man. Lidsville and some of those other things. Oof.
All right, next up we have Shadowland #2, signed by Billy Tan.
Wow.
It's just a retail of $20 or $19.99, and we got tonight for $10. And the last signed book of the night, Heroes Reborn, Magneto, and Mutant Force #1, signed by Bernard Chang. It's just a retail of $49.99. We've got it for $25.
Preston. I remember years back, it seemed like all that HR Puffin stuff was on like a big DVD set.
Right.
And I remember the guy had, this is an old story, but I think it was maybe Suncoast Video or something like that. The guy had 3 in the store. I bought all 3 and gave them to 2 of my friends because I just knew that we talked about this all the time. HR Puffin stuff is a weird world. Sid Marty Krofft.
It was.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. I don't know if you want to go down that well, but
just look it up on YouTube. You'll go down a rabbit hole, man. I've done that before.
If you choose to look that up on YouTube, but kind of plan to.
What were they smoking?
They were puffing stuff, man.
Those guys really admitting it was like shrooms constantly for those guys, and it shows in the work.
All right, so let's do a full recap to where we are now, because next
since all this ape and simian talk, right? Another great show from back in the day that was fueled by drugs is the Monkees. The Monkees, I love the Monkees so much. Yeah,
you can find this show on YouTube. I was pestering Jeff Parker pretty regularly I wanted him to redo this.
Right.
And Parker's response was usually, "You don't want me to make any money at all, do you?" But go look up something called Lancelot Link, Secret Chimp. And people are thinking, dude, you're making this up. But no, there's episodes on YouTube. But again, I'll let you know right now, if you make it through 5 minutes, plan on spending at least an hour or 2 watching this thing. You're kind of wondering how they got this made.
Oh my goodness, dude. They've got to be doing animal abuse to make this show.
Is that Matt saying no, do not?
All right, so Matt, the giveaway is Captain America #323, first appearance of John Walker. And the hashtag, Jay's got it up, hashtag EXP SDCC. All right, so enter for your chance at a drawing. We'll do the drawing at the end of the show.
I remember
Well, this
Alex
is cool
Ross
because
making-
this is one of the the 25th anniversary frame variants, right? I love those things. There are people that just collect those, what makes them hard to find.
All right, so let's do a full recap. So as always, we started off with Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we got it for $5 for the group. Then we have the DF grab bags, and they are $1 a comic. So we have the DF grab bag 10-pack, that's $10. We have the DF grab bag 15-pack, that's $15. Then we have the X-Men random 20-pack grab bag. 20 random X-Men titles from 1990s with a chance of the 1980s or 2000s. Books are 9.0 or better.
John and somebody else mentioned it too. If you don't know what Cygor is, check it out. If you're a fan at all of simians and comics, Cygor was...
Which we know you are.
You know what? Everybody in my life knows I love dogs. And I love crypto. Far and away, crypto is my favorite animal that appears.
I thought you meant like the currency.
No. Actual crypto, not made up money. But there's something about gorillas in comics, chimps, apes. To me, if they did books with that, Marvel, if you have Marvel Unlimited, Marvel has Infinity Comics, which are basically just kind of throwaway, read them, digital comics. They started doing like Marvel Cats, Marvel Mutts, Cosmo the Space Dog. When those things pop up in Marvel Unlimited, that is like the most joy I have with Marvel Unlimited. Because everything else I've sort of kind of read before. Yeah, there's vampires. Yeah, there's this. Yeah, there's that. They're killing mutants. Mutants are in charge. It's all over the place. When they have like the new episode, the new issue of Marvel Mutts, I'm delighted. It's Lockjaw. It's Pizza Dog. Cosmo is just super entertaining.
All right, so the grab bag combo. You get off all four: the 10-pack, the grab bag 10-pack, the DF grab bag 15-pack, the X-Men random 20-pack. The entire grab bag we will do for $25. So probably by far the best deal.
And somebody asked this on the chat. It flashed up. Cygor is like a Spawn thing. Someone was asking.
He's a cybernetic gorilla in the Spawn universe. He's awesome.
Yes,
he showed up
Cygor is,
very early on, and they've done some really cool, gnarly toys with him too.
If I remember, he was like Al Simmons, like War Buddy or something.
So unknown. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Unknown 869. All right. So shipping is included. So this is how we work. You make a claim. You click on the link at the top of the chat and fill out the submission form. Then we will invoice you later. Okay. Yes, correct. So give you the idea about shipping. So, bag and boarded comics up to 6 is $10 anywhere in the continental United States. If we are having slabs tonight, but up to 3 slabs is $17.50 anywhere within the continental United States. If you live in Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, or you are international, fill out the submission form, and we will figure out your shipping costs direct. Okay. So that's how we do it. All right. So then. We have the Dynamic Forces Mystery Box, 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive cover, and 10 back issues, $200 retail value, and we have it for $100. All right, so then, sorry. All right, so then, sketch covers. All right, so we had Despicable Deadpool number 287 with Man-Thing cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Elvis Cardona. It's just a retail of $129.99. We have it for $75. I lowered that to $70.
Wow. They're paying you with Monopoly money? I'm not sure. Nick is chill, but I don't know if he's that chill.
I wonder why the envelope was so small.
Oh, and somebody asked, there was a Fury Road tie-in by, I think, DC.
I think so. Yeah, it was DC. It was maybe one of the last Vertigo, like that last year's, those last years of Vertigo. I think they did some.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like a...
Because they did an Immortan Joe book, right? I know for sure.
So. I don't think it was like a Road Warrior comic, if that's what you're kind of referencing. But yeah, I mean, technically there was a comic in the Mad Max universe.
All right, next up, Deadpool and Mercs for Money, #1 with Wolverine and Ninja Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Eric Negron. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had 75. I lowered it to 60. You got it, Ron.
Nice pickup, Ron.
Yeah, Ron. I was kind of waiting for Ron to weigh in because there's a couple things tonight that are really cool. Like this is waiting for like a manga fan to show up and pick this up, I think.
Everybody needs a one-of-a-kind man thing in their house.
Yeah. Preston just said Vertigo did the Fury Road comic.
Yeah, cool.
I honestly couldn't tell you if, like, back in the 80s there was a Road Warrior comic or a Beyond Thunderdome comic. I honestly don't remember. Patrick wants the Merc for money.
Patrick, you got it, bud.
Good to see some movement on these sketch covers because they're great and some great prices too.
They're really neat, and like people are, with, and I don't say this in a negative way, but if you watch the Friday show, while Nick does have great deals, original art's expensive.
Yeah,
it's an expensive hobby. I don't mean that to bash any art dealer or whatever, but it's expensive, and to a certain extent, there are people that will say, $300 for a page of original art is a great deal, right. But for some people, that's just not happening.
Yeah,
when we have books for $40, $50, $60, that's kind of the closest they're going to get to original art / commission type prices. Right. You go to Artists Alley on a small show, small con, maybe a local trade show, you're still going to probably pay $100 for a commission the size and shape that you want. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find somebody, end of the day, guy will do a sketch for you for $40 or something. No worries about it. But for the average, just talking about the price, it's probably about $100 to get that sort of, like if I go up to somebody and say, I want Betty Page as the Rocketeer, flying, whatever, that's at least $100. If I want a background, it's more. Where, these things $30, $40, $50, $60.
Right. All right. Next up, we have
the. Corey just said it. He watched the same dealer list, $300 higher this week. It's just.
Yeah. Despicable Deadpool #300, Deadpool cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Marianne Caesar.
This cover just makes me smile. It really does.
It's just a retail of $129.99. We had 75. I lowered that to 60.
It's got a little bit of an Ed McGuinness flair to it.
Yeah, that's a great call. Every time this comes up, I'm trying to spin the wheel to see exactly where I land on what this looks like. But yeah, this would be very much a Batman, Superman, Deadpool Ed McGuinness cover.
All right, so then next up we have Catwoman 80th anniversary with Darkseid cover sketch by Eric Negron. It's just a retail of $129.99. I had that for 75, and I lowered that to 60.
Hold on a second.
There, John?
That's just not a great image of that book.
It's not centered right. I think we're missing some stuff, but it looks great.
I just bought them now. I just wanted people to be able to see this.
Feels like it's based on some Jason Fabic kind of action.
I just wanted people to be able to see this. This book is really cool.
I'm going to have to wear a helmet in here with you now.
I know how to get rid of some of the stuff in this room. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we know that.
Just the color, the work on this book, I just feel like people can't really see it. The background is really nice.
And you only knocked down 3 or 4 things to get to it.
Well, Dwayne's a pain. You're right. There's a lot of Humberto Ramos energy to the Deadpool one. I think that's what you're talking about.
You're good, bud. You are good, Jay. All right.
No. I just wanted people to be able to see that because I know sometimes, how much is this thing? $60?
Yep.
Like I know if I'm going to drop $60 on a claim show, I want to at least be able to kind of, see the full cover and get the full effect of it or whatever.
Oh, Lowell, he brought a truck today, so
Oh, this damn Perella figure is fallen. I'll take care of it.
You know, if I wasn't actually watching you, I think it was deliberate. All right.
Just out of curiosity, this is a Dynamite action figure from, I think, 2010.
Probably right.
Ron wants the dark side.
Don
Right,
wants the dark
Ron,
side.
you got
Ron,
it,
that
bud.
dark side is very cool. I have this in red.
Shocking.
This one's in black, but yeah.
Did you actually buy it?
Back then, yeah. I think it was probably
Back
like
then, yeah.
back then it was probably 2010 or 11. And
All right, I got you down, Ron.
I went through a period of time where I didn't have any patience for like the dealing and the bidding and come back later. I would just tell someone, how much is this? You know how people hate jerks on eBay who buy it now?
Mm.
I'm that guy. I don't care what your bid is. If I want this watch or if I want this or that, I just buy it now. Or I just let it, it isn't for me.
All right, then this
however,
is
is actually
another
for me, though.
really nice one. Immortal Thor #1 with Enchantress cover sketch by Tony Scott. It's just a retail of $129.99, and we had it for $75. I lowered that to $70.
Yeah, this is really the hair, the color of the headdress, just everything about the placement. This is very cool.
Yeah, the way like he's able to like shape the figure with his coloring in a very exceptional way.
Yeah,
it's almost like an airbrush type look, right? But it's
great.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's a great
That's-
observation.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does. It's like I feel like this should be like on the side of a van,
Right, dude. If this is on the side of a van and it pulls up next to a park,
with a little window, like a couple guys taking their boards off the roof rack and heading up to the water.
if this van's a rocking, don't come a knocking.
All right, so sign books.
Ron, that's a really nice cover. I think
It
you're going
is.
to be real happy with that when it arrives. I like that a lot.
So we got Incredible Hulk #1, George Perez variant, signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Suggested retail.
Ron is on fire.
All right, you got
now.
it, Ron.
He waited patiently this whole show to see
Yeah,
if
that's
anybody
what
else
I
wanted
want.
him.
You know, others a chance to claim.
Ron has
something.
always done that, though. Even in the beginning, when you and I were doing it out in the hallway or something, Ron would kind of wait a bit and let people.
He had bought like all of the Ken Hazer collection. I had nothing new to present at that point. But Ron also does something real nice, is that he'll take like key comics and he'll have them framed together with something else. And he sent me pictures of stuff he's done. It's really
Probably the best text I get each day is from Ron, because it's either a really funny joke, a link to a really funny video or something like that. He sent me one for the other day. I think it was from Instagram, and it was a prank, but it was a prank where they made it look like the girl had superpowers. And it was maybe the best done video of that style I'd seen before. And there were a couple people looks on their faces that were just great. They had like stuff moving, and it was a girl was moving it with her mind, and people in the coffee shop were like, "Oh hell no!" They just turned around and left. Like, no, I've seen this movie. I know how this goes. I'm out.
All right, so Incredible Hulk #1. Nobody's claimed any sign books. All right, so $39.99 just at retail. We had it 20. I'm gonna do this one for $15. All right.
Wow, that's actually.
All right, next up we have
From the Gamma Green Signature Collection.
Gamma Green Signature. There you go. Then we have Detective Comics #1000 signed in gold by Scott Schneider. It's just a retail of $89.99 with a wraparound cover. We had it 45. I'll make this 35.
You tell me it's signed in utility belt gold and you're cutting the price? That's awesome.
Utility belt.
Batman Green. Fans, your time has come.
This is Robbie's new thing. He's going to put a name to each color signature. All right.
Lyle
Good going, Lyle.
All right, you got it, Lyle.
That's a nice pickup, Lyle. That's another book that's sweet.
This man is displaced right now and picking up good books. Think about that. Preston claiming detective. See, it was the utility belt gold that sold Preston, I guarantee.
I'm running for my life, but let me grab that Detective Comics real quick.
Wait, let me stop.
Real quick.
All right, Ron, you got it, bud. Lyle picked it up, bud. I'm sorry. All right, so then we got Defenders #1 signed by Terry Dodson. It's just a retail of $29.99. We have it at $15. I'll make that $12.
What color is this signed in?
That's your job.
I think it's Dark Dimension Black is what I think.
Does it have to start with a B though?
No.
Aaron Mordo Black?
Oh no, that's true.
Utility Belt Gold didn't start. You know, it's not. It doesn't have to be a literature.
Black Widow Black.
Let me see, Ron, if I can find the second one of that. All right, if I can, it's yours. It's just I can't. I don't always know off the top of my head. But thank you, Marcus, for making that suggestion. I will look, Ron. If I have it, I'll just pop it onto.
That's one of the 713.
Hey, page turning. What's up, bud?
That's one of the 713 things you're paid to know off the top of your head here.
713? Aren't you underestimating?
I'm lowballing.
Okay.
I really like this cover though. This is a very cool cover.
All right. All right. So next up, we have Action Comics number 974, signed in red. Robbie, what kind of red?
That's Heat Vision red, brother.
Vision red.
Go. Signed in Heat Vision red.
Although I saw Terry Dodson, I thought it should be Rocket red, but
suggested retail of $49.99. We have it 25. I'll make this one 20.
Yeah, where are the Dynamite incentives?
We have new Dynamite books, Triple B. Some of them are incentives.
Everybody hit the thumbs up because I see 30 people with only 25 likes.
Okay, my excuse is it does not update anymore from my computer.
I understand.
So
say his name and he appears. Someone just asked about incentives.
And did I see that Defenders number 1? How much was that? Because that's number 1 of 150.
It was 15. I made it 12.
Claimed.
It's
got some Mariner on it.
I found this on the floor. I didn't think you'd mind if I.
Nick just bought his own book.
Nick, how does that
12
work?
bucks.
Do I invoice you? How does that work?
Yeah, very good, Jay. I
All
believe.
right, so,
I knew somebody would get it.
Patrick, somebody did take Supergirl. I'm looking for a second one for Preston. I don't know if I have 3, but I will look for you, Patrick.
Who signed it?
Steve Orlando, I think.
Steve Orlando.
Nice.
All right, I will look for you, Patrick.
That's
no
the
guarantees, buddy.
Right? Yeah.
If I can't find your number 3 in line, I'm sorry.
I won't see you guys Wednesday or Friday. So everybody have a great show.
Why?
Friday.
Where are you going, Nick?
Please. You charge Nick shipping? No, I pick it up, Corey.
No, I charge
You'll
shipping.
be announcing the.
I gotta walk it. I gotta walk it all the way to his office, and that's $10.
Oh, come on, man! You can give Nick free local pickup, right?
You would think
up to 6. I will. You can.
I love. Look at this.
6
Lyle wants you to double it.
I don't want to say this if it hasn't been
to
announced.
6 comics, $20.
You guys announced the married couple doing Powerpuff Girls.
We did.
Okay, I didn't want to say anything like.
I can't believe Kat is actually drawing it. That is awesome.
Well, that's because Amanda looked across the table and said, "Just draw this." All right, fine. If you guys didn't hear it today, Amanda Diebert and Kat Staggs are going to be doing
Powerpuff Girls Halloween special. Paulina's writing Powerpuff Girls 4 to 6. We announced Army of Darkness 13 with Tony Fleece.
Blake Northcott is going to do Barbarella.
Northcott Barbarella is getting picked up everywhere.
Yeah.
MSN made it a trending story for 2 days.
Well, you had both Sydney Sweeney in one picture, and then you had Rachel Holland in cosplaying the other picture. Seeing that at MSN is very cool.
Yes, Barbarella news, Marcus. Just Google Dynamite Comics Barbarella.
I told you guys Barbarella would be back.
And we're just getting warmed up. Wait till you see the rest of the week.
More Mighty Mouse? Or am I the only one that remembers Mighty Mouse from
20? I remember Mighty Mouse. I remember I wish it sold more.
Yeah,
there I am,
Nick's
all by myself
Friday
reading
show
Mighty
was
Mouse.
very, very popular with Skylar on. I saw the submission forms coming in, so she had some neat stuff there on your Friday show, right? You had Skylar.
Yeah, this is like the best week of the year.
And you never know. Maybe there are some announcements on Dynamite movies. You never know.
You know how you guys I make stuff up.
Yes.
This is actually Nick doing it, but for real, not me making.
I didn't say yes. I just said you never know. Anything can happen. There could be things that I don't know that are happening.
In this building, in this company?
Yeah.
Now he's being coy.
Listen, did I know that you were dropping the Defenders from full price to 15, then to 12?
You know now.
Nick,
Right. So did I know?
Nick was unaware that this had fallen onto my desk.
Look, just remember something. Sometimes fortunes rise, sometimes fortunes fall.
Sometimes when John gets up, the action.
I did. I got up because I wanted to show.
Well,
Rob
let's
the
hope
dark
that
side.
this fortune rises.
Oh.
Nick is acquainted with the law of rhythm. There you go.
So when Nick's gone,
Hey, Robbie, come on. You and I, TNA, fortune against the main event mafia. Come on. You remember that TNA?
Yeah, I do. You talking about wrestling?
Yeah, I'm talking about wrestling. Come on, when AJ Styles and team turned on.
Don't you remember Aces and Eights?
Yeah.
I loved Aces and Eights.
The only time Hulk Hogan wrestled while he was in TNA.
I mean, they literally gave him a whole bunch of aspirin. They sent him out there to wrestle, and then he was I'm done, brother.
I
That's not going to
promise
work for me.
everybody one thing. While Nick's gone, I promise you, Bobblehead Rudolph is.
Listen, I gave you a Christmas present. I did not bring out Rudolph once. You cannot hurt Rudolph. That is your Christmas in July present.
I have a question.
So you cannot do anything to Rudolph because he did not come out to bother you.
I guarantee you won't be able to find Rudolph.
That is mean.
Yes,
you know what? You know what kind of mean that is? That's Ocean's 12 mean.
That is. Oh my God, that is Ocean's 12.
Don't make me do
when you call them and wake them up at 2 a.m, pretending it's 6 a.m.
Hey,
that's Ocean's 12.
Don't make me do a Godfather thing where I show you a headless Rudolph.
Wait,
12.3.
Let me tweet this out right now. No.
Wait. Before we were talking about Ocean's 12, what were we talking about?
TNA Wrestling.
Oh, TNA Wrestling. Come on, man. Jeff Hardy. They made sure Jeff Hardy won the belt.
They made sure
that was so friggin' awesome.
They even had Jeff. They had like a special belt for him.
Yeah.
They still sell it at TNA Shop.
Oh, did they really?
Well, I know, Jay. We are minus 1 minute from the break.
I know where you are. Oh, so I spoke to the other routine. He's apparently not going to be the publisher while you're away. So my time has come.
Oh my God! Listen, I sent a friend of mine. Okay, so I sent 3 friends of mine, Bubba Ray Dudley, suplexing Dixie Carter.
Oh, I love that.
And I got hate emails from all 3 of them. How can you conduct? I was like, she owns the company.
She owns the company.
I was like, you know what? Never mind. You cannot show wrestling stuff.
That's not even the most heinous woman that Bubba Ray Dudley suplexed. He suplexed a woman that's like 90 in the WWE. So trust me, at least Dixie Carter was south of 50.
And she owned the company.
That's right.
So, Devon, get the table. May Young. Oh my. Listen, May not so young.
And I saw your buddy on AEW this week again. They had CD on as the
who?
Christopher Daniels.
Oh, nice.
He's like the director, of like he's the executive producer or whatever for because the owner's not coming.
Are you watching Wrestlers on Netflix?
Yeah. They're going to do season 2. I think.
Did you notice the Hulk and the Captain America and Spider-Man full-size head busts?
All those people read comics.
Yes.
And you can tell by the way
Men in Tights.
It's just how it is.
All right, guys. Sal, before I get in trouble.
Hurry.
All right. So, Jay, I know we are now minus 3.
You think that was Nick's way of saying we're going to do TNA Wrestling comics?
I don't know.
Yes.
Dude. All right. So, hang out.
I don't know that, by the way.
Right back.
I'm just guessing.
Jay,
we'll be back.
You would. Sorry about that.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, People spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
All right, last 3 signed books. All right, so we had Death of Wolverine signed in gold by Charles Soule. It's just a retail of $89.99. We have 45. I'll do that for 35. So.
Didn't that one sell? I thought. Which one? The one on the screen?
Yeah, I think so.
No, this Death of Wolverine, buddy.
I was on the wrong one. There we go.
There you go. All right.
Signed in X-Men Gold.
Yeah, so okay, there we go. All right, so then we have Shadowland number 2, signed by Billy Tan. Suggested retail of $19.99. We have for 10. I'll do that for 8.
An $8 Billy Tan autograph signed in Shadow Black. That's awesome.
There you go, Shadow Black. All right, and last one, Heroes Reborn, Magneto and Mutant Force number 1, signed by Bernard Chang. $49.99 suggested retail. We have for 25. I'll do that for 15.
Signed in Magneto Red.
All right. So if anybody wants it, throw it up on the chat board, and I will get you down.
Utility Belt Gold. I really like that one.
Utility Gold was the Detective Comics. It's the X-Men Gold that's the Death of Wolverine. And, because X-Men had the gold team and the blue team. So.
All right. So now let's get to the Dynamite books. The Dynamite new books from last week. Powerpuff Girls number 1. Prices are cover price of $49.99 or higher. From photo, you can see each one is coded with a letter, and just let us know. Certain ones, the incentives go for a different price. Just fill out submission form, let us know which one you're interested in, and we'll let you know the price.
And you think I'm bad?
What?
I mentioned to my wife that Dynamite's doing Powerpuff Girls, and she's like, giving me the eye. And I'm like, what? She's like, well,
Steal some from me, hon.
It's really good, too. Really good. I enjoyed it.
I remember something a while back, too, that she really liked. And I can't remember what it was now. Not Holly Hoppy or something else we did. She loved Mighty Mouse, too. She's like, oh, my God, Mighty Mouse. So I was like...
All right. Thundercats number 6.
The Trunk Special, J.
Same deal. Let us know which one you're interested in. Most of them are cover price at $4.99, but there are incentives that have varying prices depending.
I just ordered from Amazon a bunch of fabric foldable reusable short boxes.
Really?
Yeah. I was shocked at them that I got them 2 for $10 or something on Prime Day, and I'm like, my life is short boxes. I didn't, I've never liked long boxes because the structural integrity. So I've I kept short boxes in business through the
You
early
gotta
2000s. All of a sudden, it just pops up on Prime Day. Like, hey, do you need comic boxes? And I'm like, need them? Well, yeah, of course, every comic collector needs boxes. And apparently, these are things that are fabricy. They're collapsible. You kind of pop them up, put them together.
Right.
There's a plate in the bottom. There's an integrated top, and you can seal it shut. And it's got handles on the side, and it's got like a little card that you can put in, Vampirella. Boom, and you can put it in there or whatever.
All right. So finally, from last week, Red Sonja number 12. Same deal here. Use the letter you see on the right-hand side.
If you can see it.
Yeah, if you can see it.
You saw the wrong thing, right?
I got it. Most of them are cover price of $4.99 or higher. And if they're higher, they're the incentives. Let us know, and we'll get you the price.
And this book is slightly getting the vibe of Red Sonja and the Army of Darkness.
Right. Yeah, full screen, if you could, Jay.
Yeah, nobody needs to see me. Ooh.
All right, we'll get that in a second. It's all right, Jay. If it's too much trouble, but don't worry about it.
He's on like emergency battery power down there.
Hmm? Yeah, good.
No, he's got his power back.
Oh, does he? All right.
All right, Jay, don't worry about it, dude.
It's like Perillo, Borens, Linsner, somebody, a cosplay.
Make two. Nobody needs to see me, man. Trust me.
Let me see. Tom Bishop.
The number of trophies I've won for hair?
Tom, make sure you fill out submission form, all right, bud? Because I can't see them at this point. So it's going to be real important to fill that out, bud. Okay. Thank you, Tom. All right. So then we have the Thundercats trade paperback. Omens covers issues number 1 through 5 for $19.99. All right. So this week's Dynamite Books. We've got Army of Darkness Forever, number 10, cover A by Bjorn Berens. And we have that at a cover price of $4.99.
I'd be happy if Tony Fleecs does 100 issues of this. I don't know how much that would cost, Nick, but the Tony Fleecs Army of Darkness run has been...
It's the best Army of Darkness comic of all time.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I don't want to... I'm not let you try. I love Army of Darkness, but this one's sort of something special.
All right, so then we have Army of Darkness Forever number 10B. A 10 cover B by Arthur Sudam. And we have this at cover price of $4.99.
For everybody but me, this will be the best run of all time. But for me, I can't. When they had Army of Darkness and Reanimator, that was guaranteed to be my favorite.
All right, then we have Army of Darkness Forever number 10, cover C by Tony Fleecs.
Oh,
and we have this for cover price, $4.99.
I love Tony's covers. Tony has got a trifecta out this week. He's got Army of Darkness Forever, he's got Local Man, and he's got a new issue of Uncanny Valley. So it's a Fleece.
Oh, wow.
Week. And Farrell just released last week. So
this guy's on fire. Farrell's last week.
Yeah.
Right,
no, Farrell's this week too. Farrell's this week too.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's like 4 for 4, man. Wow.
Yeah, man. The quadrilogy.
All right, so Army of Darkness Forever number 10, cover D by Chris Burnham, and we had that at cover price of $4.99.
Can I just thank y'all for getting Chris Burnham to do Army of Darkness covers? Whoever was responsible for that choice, kudos to you.
Wasn't me.
I want to say it was me, but no one's going to believe that. So it's probably like an editor or Nick or something. But
all right.
And look at Evil Ash right here doing his best Green Goblin. Right? Look at that.
I'll accept the award on behalf of the people who actually do the work and make the comments.
All right. So on to Vampirella. Vampirella number 670, cover A by, of course, Lucio Perillo. And we got a cover price, $4.99.
I think next week we have another Lucio Perillo cover like life imitating art or whatever. I think the next one that comes out for this is based on Rachel Holland, and then he's got the next one coming out for that is, I don't know if it's Joni Brassis or he decided that he wanted to use Vampirella cosplayers as the art models, and that's like real. That's almost like Inception to me when they start doing that. That's wild.
All right, then we got Vampirella number 670, cover B by Elias Chadzudis, and we have that at cover price of $4.99.
I love when the artist makes sure that you can see like the little white interior of the collar.
All right,
the light interior of the collar, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what most of us are looking at. Anyway, perky collars.
That is the movie cover.
All right, so
one of the years I'll be right. Each year at Comic-Con, I say that Dynamite is going to announce a Vampirella movie, and 16 years in a row I've been wrong. One of the years I'll be right, and I'll say I told you.
All right, Vampirella number 670, cover C by Carla Cohen, and we have that at cover price of $4.99.
That's
I love this cover.
Yeah, you stare at it for a second and you're like, wow.
That is amazing.
This is a very cool. I mean, you know, the work speaks for itself, but holy cow. Corey, you're right. To be honest with you, over the years, especially in chats, I've said I wanted Dynamite to do a ton of stuff. And as the years went by, one by one, I got them. It's just sort of like a really long, like, you know, everything I've mentioned at one point that I'd like to see Dynamite do, it's almost like I'm out of things to ask Nick for. Especially last time, he's like, we're doing Johnny Quest. I'm like, wow, I guess I'm done.
Who would you cast as Vampirella, John?
What?
Who would you cast as Vampirella?
Aubrey Plaza, maybe, is the first name that pops into my head.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. Huh.
Well, I think the problem is if you go to focused on collars, I don't think you're going to get all the nuances of the character. One of the things people realize, they look at Vampirella and you see the obvious, and the average comic book reader enjoys the book and moves along. When you've read Vampirella as long as I have, you've seen the writers sort of kind of work to create a personality for her, and it's not easy to do because it's it's a vampire running around.
Ooh, I like Dwayne's idea.
In a sling. Kate Beckinsale would be great. I think she would be a great Vampirella. There's a few others over the years that I thought. She mentioned it in a radio show. She's older now, but at the time the movie came out, it was a movie called The Craft. And one of the actresses from that movie was on a radio show that I listened to. Faruka Balk. I'm trying to think of her name. And she had said that she was a Vampirella fan. And she had wanted to do, like, she was interested in doing Vampirella if they had ever made a movie. And I thought that was pretty cool.
All right, so next up we got cover D, cosplay by Rachel Holland.
Yeah.
We got that cover at $4.99.
I don't notice any collars there. Maybe.
Yeah, missing collars. All right, so then we have cover E. Lucio
Rachel decided
Carrillo,
to do an alternate wardrobe choice.
And we have this for $50. And then we have cover F, Ergen Gunda's 1-in-7 ratio incentive. And we have that for $10.
One of the things I've always liked about Vampirella is that she kind of goes from cool, calm, collected to, crazy, like in the blink of an eye. And I'm trying to think of an actress that can do that. And the first one that came to my mind is Aubrey Plaza. That can sort of go from normal to what am I dealing with here?
Wait, that's, I wasn't saying that was an interesting choice because of collar size or anything like that. Like, I mean, because that would be an interesting performance from her as Vampirella. I think that'd be very interesting. Like,
Well,
I would like to see that.
Over the years, I've kind of thought about this a lot, and as the years go by, it kind of changes a little bit because actors go past their, now I realize that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones at 80 punching Nazis, but with the sort of, exception to the rule, actors probably have about a 10, 12 year time span that they could realistically do Vampirella.
Yeah.
And then they're sort of, they begin to show signs of age, and she doesn't age.
Right. So one I was just thinking of is what's the name of the lady that was in? She's in the John Wick spinoff, The Ballerina, right? She played Marilyn Monroe in a movie, and she was in wasn't she in that detective movie by Ryan Johnson? I can't remember it for some reason what the name.
I'm trying to think of what her name is now.
It's like Army. It's like a French name or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of her name now.
All right, let me get the last one. You got
Anna de Armas. There you go,
yeah.
Thomas or Bishop. Yeah. That would not be a, that would not be a terrible choice at all.
All right, so last one, cover M, Lucio Carrillo UV cover. We had that at cover from $4.99.
And there was a time I thought Kristen Ritter would make a good Vampirella, but you would have to fashion the Vampirella to. I'm not saying Kristen Ritter doesn't have range, but she's sort of cast to do a certain type of performance. Right. So basically now people know her as variety stuff. She's the new Orphan Black character. She's Jessica Jones. She's going to be Jessica Jones again, I guess. But I thought there was a time where Kristen Ritter would have made a very good Vampirella.
All right, so quick recap on the handful of books that are left. All right, we've got, let's see, Despicable Deadpool number 300, Deadpool cover sketch by Jill Del Beato and Marianne Liceza. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had it 75. I lowered that to 60. And then, of course, Defenders number 1, signed by Terry Dodson. It's just a retail of $29.99. And we had it 15. I lowered that to 12. Then we had Action Comics number 974, signed and read by Dan Jurgens. It's just at retail of $49.99. We had it 25. I lowered that to 20.
If I remember correctly, when Rachel shot that Vampirella, I think that's sort of like latex. That there was like a body latex artist that comes to the studio and sort of paints the other half of the costume on her. Sort of speak. She was explaining it. This was a little while ago, but it's cosplayers go through a lot, man. Sure, there's, like I should say, professional cosplayers go through a ludicrous amount of makeup.
All right, so Death of Wolverine, signed in gold by Charles Soule, $89.99. It's just retail. We had it 45. I lowered it to 35. And then Shadowland number 2, signed by Billy Tan, suggested retail of $19.99. We had it 10. I lowered that to 8. All right, so you got Robbie at what time again? Eastern?
9 Eastern tonight.
9 Eastern, and he will be reviewing Blade, the original, not Blade 2, not Blade 3, because that does not exist.
Every time you say Blade 3, that's Jay having to remove that in post-production.
Also, yeah, right? Correct. Course correct. Also, by the way, I just had a Facebook memory pop up because, yes, I'm that dude that pays attention to my Facebook memories. Yesterday, I was excited 5 years ago that they announced Mahershala Ali was going to be in a new Blade movie. So it has now officially been 5 years since they made that announcement. They have no script and no director.
Right? That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You hear that, right?
Blade 3 is more likely than the Mahershala Ali Blade movie.
So, Jay...
Preston, real quick, if you're talking about a Vampirella movie, you want to almost do a little bit of the Quentin Tarantino thing. Start in the middle near the end. And then the next movie will sort of be the beginning. Or the last movie will be the beginning. So you'll kind of get middle, end, and then the beginning, Vampirella year 1. And if you choose to do different actors for play Vampirella, you can do that. which era would it be from? Personally, I would like to see it set in 1969, but that's just me.
So, Jay, what do we have coming up tonight on the EXP?
Not Devil's Advocates.
No, unfortunately, that show has ended. But after you get done with Robbie's show, come swing by at 11 Eastern, 10 Central for Best Coast Comics with Bronze Age Nerd and Bigby McFly. And they're going to be talking about the PSA joining CGC. Not sure what that means, but that's what the show's going to be about.
Cool. All right, so we'll be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern
for our 5 minutes, though.
Yeah, we have drawings.
Oh, I was going to say.
So we'll be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for our collectibles shortened version of the show. And all right, so I'm going to give everybody the last chance. The giveaway tonight is Captain America number 323, first appearance of John Walker. And the hashtag is EXPSDCC. So if you haven't entered it, you only need to enter it once. But if you haven't, now is your chance before we spin the big wheel, which is not really a wheel.
This isn't really a wheel, is it?
It's not. It's a randomizer. You know, it's an app. So, John, you cannot take that entire bundle. You know that, right?
It's not right.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've seen. I don't know if we showed it, but I'll tell you, there's a cover, a variant by John Vasquez that is absolutely adorable for Vampirella. I don't know if you can probably go look it up online or something. It's just, it's a great juxtaposition between the character and the tone and content of the book.
Right.
And this sort of like innocent, almost like Lil Vampy. Dynamite's done Lil Vampy before, and it very much has Lil Vampy energy.
All right. Hey, Becky, what's happening?
Becky's just didn't pick up a bunch of books real quick.
I don't think we have much left. All right, Jay, you want to spin that wheel for us? All right, here we go.
Good luck, everybody.
It is Matt Carter.
That's great.
I think he's left already, but he had said he had to go.
He will see it on his invoice.
This is his. I know. Collecting dude.
Do you kind of feel like Jay just felt so sorry for him that he kind of fixed it?
Really? He's taken so many L's. I'm glad to see him win. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's all right. He'll see it on his invoice tomorrow. He's gonna be like, "What?" I gotta tell you, I almost kind of suspect that maybe Jay felt so bad for him, he kind of did a little something.
It's not rigged. The term is predetermined for entertainment value.
Thank you, John. Too funny. So be sure to join Robbie tonight at 9. Blade, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I was kind of excited when I saw that. I'm gonna try to catch it tonight.
The action, Wesley Snipes, the whole 9 yards. It's just one of the greatest movies ever made.
Well, is it the birth of the MCU?
Yeah, Christopherson, of course.
Everybody's great in that movie. Steven Dorff. Like, it's just the music's great, the soundtrack is great, everything about it. And think about this. This is a year before The Matrix, and when I was rewatching it this week, I'm not saying this movie influenced The Matrix because they were already making it, but it definitely shows you the gear shift in tone and style that was happening towards the end of the 90s that led into the 2000s, and Blade is at the forefront of that.
Well, I always say the 90s showed you near the end that, yes, bigger is better if we spend more money. I think there's always, before that, I think they always tried to really keep a tight budget. Yeah, there were always blockbusters and movies that went over budget, whatever, terrible things. But for the most part, I don't think it occurred to them to create, 8-figure pop-ups for like 100 days to make a movie. I don't think, but when you started seeing Blade, Matrix in particular, well, if you spend the money on the special effects and you spend the money to get the right actors, people will go. Yeah, they'll go and see it over and over and over again. I think people saw Batman over and over and over again, and I don't think that happened the end for almost 10 years until you started getting, more Star Wars, more Matrix and stuff like that.
So thank you, everyone, for spending your evening with us.
We appreciate you. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
Congratulations to everybody that got books, won books.
We may make that the hashtag on Wednesday.
What?
EXP Matt wins.
Yeah, Matt. I don't know if you're gonna watch this later or whatever. Congratulations, man. You really Matt never loses. Nice,
Thank you,
man.
Patrick. All right, peace, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.